or if you really like a couple of players and you want me to try and set up a show match for them or something, you're always welcome to reach out. I'm very open, accessible to reach on email, Discord, message me in Twitch chat or YouTube chat. We will put together tournaments for you guys if you would like, as ByuN accidentally loads his SCVs in the command center. So yes, there's basically TLDR, there's anything you want to do to support helps us put on more StarCraft 2, so do check it all out. Appreciate you guys. Let's go, go, go. In the top left-hand corner of the map, in our first elimination match of the tournament, we're about to go from 8 players to 7. One of these two will not make it to the second day of competition. In the top left, from the Shopify Rebellion, our blue Terran is ByuN. And the bottom right, our red Zerg player from Falcons is Solar. Hey guys, I know I'm selling out a lot the last few days and stuff, but the reality is that we're at a point where we need to run some tournaments because there's not a lot of tournaments going on outside of what I'm about to run in the near future. So we have to run some tournaments, and to do that we need money. Is the straight up and honest fact of it. So we are selling out a bit more than usual. We are mentioning the subs and stuff. We're trying to get the sub count to a little bit of a healthier state on Twitch so we can more comfortably keep on running tournaments and so on. So yes, we're selling out a lot, but I think it's very important. You know, if you're here every day, you're probably sick of hearing it, but there are people who are... you know, only here for a weekend stream. It's the first time they tuned in a couple of weeks. So it is very important to keep this message going again and again and again, you know. Pigfest is coming? Yeah. And that's great, but that's like, I think, like 8, 5 or 6 days of StarCraft. That does not fill all of the days. There's a lot more to be done. Obviously, the goal is to have StarCraft pretty much every day, so people can always tune in and find something to watch. The players almost always have something to play in. That's what we want to try and do. Frizzles the Bear, thank you so much for the 8-month resub on the Prime. On a petting service. I can give you guys bets if you want. Yeah, go wild. Spend all your channel points. Alright. Did that Reaper just... Okay, the Reaper got away. I was wondering what the guys were laughing for. Alright, well, CC coming up, Reactor coming through. Having a little bit of a look around the map. Could I put a donation bar for $500 for Hero Marine Clem versus Showtime Max Packs in Harkon? Yeah, that'd be fun, but I'd love to put that down. I'd have to convince the players of it first, though, you know. Thank you for keeping the community alive. That's all good. There's a lot of people keeping the community alive. I'm not the only person doing things. I'm not trying to make out that I'm the only person doing things. Just, you know, in this period where we don't know about the future of StarCraft, at least for the last couple of months, there's been some Chinese tournaments, but now there's really, like, not much else going on, you know, so just gotta kind of keep our, keep doing what we can do, you know? Yo, Birdman SC, thank you so much for the 2-month resub, appreciate it, as the Queens and the Lings will help and get rid of those Hellions, so there's a little bit of a dive in trying to abuse the later Ling speed of Solar here. Solar's going to get away with it, though, playing Neon Violet Squire. Big map, could 100% see Neon Violet Squire turn into a big, long game of StarCraft 2 between these guys. That's something that ByuN typically plays into. He's not afraid, you know, he doesn't mind shying away from that at all. He is absolutely the kind of guy who will play those kind of longer games, so let's see what happens. What's up, Birdman SC? Thank you so much for the 2-month resub as well. Appreciate it, and thank you. As our starport comes up, the Overlord goes down. The racks will swap on over to a reactor. We got 5 Marines in production. That's looking like a very typical just 3CC now. The 3 racks set up on the 3 bases, and then we'll obviously from there start to go into all of the other bits and pieces, which is going to be, you know, extra barracks basically. I mean, from here you go 5 racks, then 8 racks, and you can do that pretty quickly because everything else is really set in place. In about a minute, you'll need an armory, but other than that, yeah, you pretty much are just adding barracks for the foreseeable future. Maybe you go 5 racks, then a 4th CC, and then 8 racks as well, obviously, as well as a possibility. I guess I said go up straight to 8 racks. I guess that's not true. You go to 5 racks, definitely, and then you decide between 8 racks and a 4th base and a 2nd factory. So there are choices. Hey, what's up? Coke Hat in. Thank you so much for the 7-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you. As a few Marines begin to move through into the middle of the map, just going to step on forward into the center here a little bit. See a few Marines gathering up, coming through the center. Sorry guys, I had to tab out quickly and answer a question for some of the players. But playing at the same time. Again, we're doing our best to keep this. There's going to be, in theory, 8 best of 5s can be a very long day, so we're doing our best to keep it a little bit more manageable for the players and making sure that they don't have to be here for a full length of 8 best of 5s. So a couple matches are playing at the same time during this. As Marines and Reaper are going to step through. A little scary for Solar, whose couple Banes are morphing. No Bane speed at all, because he prioritized the melee upgrades. So it's scary, but ByuN with a very un-ByuN-like micro, as he just lets, well, yeah, kind of because it wasn't really micro, he just kind of let those Banes hit, and that was a bit of a surprise. As yo, Family Fantasy RPG, thank you so much for the generosity of 5 gifted subs. Is this Marine drop going to do much? Nah, just clean some creep. They're going to go out to Ganos, Stable, Mr. Jabsnor, Guy Oof, Mishley, and Maltesa 7. Thank you so much, Family Fantasy RPG, for the generosity and gifting out 5 subs. We appreciate it. Thank you. Alright, 3 Marines just going to unload. I mean, ByuN at least going to be able to keep that presence on the map. Like I say, a bit of a shame the initial Marines went down, gives Solo a lot of freedom. And a map where if you give the Zerg a lot of freedom, they are absolutely going to run away with it. They are absolutely going to, you know, he's absolutely going to do a lot with that. So that should be pretty intriguing. Lings is going to drop off. A little bit of damage being done. A couple SCVs get jumped on. +2 melee, +2 carapace coming up. The infestation pit coming through is about to finish in a moment or so. SCV's going down. The Lingbane Hydra coming through. The Marine's going to stim up again. They go pushing across. A few Marines load back up to the high ground. Banes, Lings, Hydras continue to come around a little bit. Banes crash through. 10 SCVs go down. The Lingbane Hydra is going to step up. A few Marines going to be right there, just going to step back themselves. Obviously sitting on the edge of creep right now. Stepping straight through. First one of mine doesn't do much. Good split away. Second one of mine will get a few Banes, but nothing too crazy. But I'm going to get completely overwhelmed. It's not even close, as Solo completely crushes him. And that's not great when Solo crushes you and he's got the Lurker Den about to finish, because Solo's about to end up in his even better stage of the game. And step over. And if that goes down, just gonna be able to grab that. Lingbane Hydra back down the bottom side. There's a few Marines in the main base. ByuN harassing over there as well. It's quite a big drop. He's going to go for the lurk again. Okay. Well, I actually feel like that's pretty critical because Solar, like I say, gets to his absolute best state when he's playing the lurkers. And so if you just get pushed off those lurkers for a little while longer, I think that is absolutely huge. Veins crash in. Wouldn't mind take some damage. The Lings are going to come across as well. Let's see how ByuN are going to be there. A few more units going down. The Lurk then still setting up. The Ling Bane coming about. Adrenal Glands coming over. I'm just going to get rid of a few more creep tumors here. Bane's still trying to move up. The Hydra's going to be there. Medevac's pushed away. One more wouldn't mind to grab a Zergling, and we get all the way back over that center of the map here. Whoop. Korean server. Rex. It's an unlikely one. I'll take a moment or two, Rexel DC, and we will continue on with this without much further problem. Just counting on down. And get back to it, guys. Sorry for the slight delay. Why the Shin meta of Mass Overseer was not copied by the likes of Solar or Raynor? It wasn't Shin, it was Rogue that played Mass Overseer. I think it was a little gimmicky to the point where once it was figured out, it just didn't work anymore.
Game paused. Game resumed.
And back to it. There's a little bit of Lingbane Hydra comes around. It's going to knock open those rocks. Yeah, losing that Lurker Den. It's a pretty big slowdown to get back in this game. Just going to see how things are. Hydra's get there. The hatchery going to be taken out. So that gold base denied. ByuN back in the main base, trying to drop around, do what he can, fighting these Zerglings. Mostly just okay. The Medevac's being killed by Parasite Bombs. Not a lot of energy on them anyway, so not a lot of healing available, but again, got a lot of the Lings. Finally some Bane show up, and finally this becomes a little bit more of a cleanup. However, now on the top right side, ByuN's multitasking, keeping him going in this. This is a game which I feel like Solo was meant to be very comfortable in, and now getting a little bit dragged all over the place. A little bit of a momentum breaker from ByuN. Solar is still maxed out, still feeling good. And he is still on a Lurker Den, which now has done Seismic Spines as well. So we are actually going to be able to go into Lurkers. So like I say, maybe that's just what Solar needs to get into his more stable force. And start breaking down some of these positions that we're trying to take here on the side of ByuN. Some of those bases that are coming up and so over the next few moments. Here we go, Lingbane coming through. Bane lanes are going to try and crash in. Split apart a little bit. Ghost goes down. The rest of these units continue to come across as well. And the Banes continue over. A couple SCVs going to get jumped on. Blind Cloud. I love the Blind Cloud on the bio. It means you can't stand there and fight. You've got to step away. Actually gives Solo a little bit more of an open position to work for, and I think that's very cool. Oh, Knight is in the main base as a killer. Bunch of Lurkers pop out there. I was wondering when the Lurkers are going to show up, but yeah, popping out in the main is a really nice first appearance for them. A lot of SCVs going down. A few Lurkers still remain here. Ghosts are now dying. This has turned into a fantastic sequence of events for Solo, who's looking as though he might be able to grab a Game 1 victory. Things popped out. It's going to go through, get a couple of SCVs. It's a lot of workers still just dying across all the different mineral lines. I mean, units are still pouring out of the Niduses. Obviously, Solo's setting up to attack on the left side. He's just got a lot of lurkers. I just do not think we're going to be able to do enough here. And Solo is going to get himself game 1 of this best of. In the bottom left-hand side, our red Terran player. Down a game, it is ByuN. Again, best of 5s all day today. Gonna be a fun one. Alright, game number 2. Still on the bottom right, on the top left. We get set up and we'll see what's gonna happen. ZvT pops across, just gonna get ready to put the CC down, nothing too crazy happening early. Try and take it a little easy early in games, guys, just because, like I say, there's a lot of StarCraft today, don't want the voice to give up on us. Gotta make it all the way through as we get underway. Queen's hatch coming up at the moment. If it comes in, a couple of lings will take some shots, drones take damage. Drop an Eva chamber down, cancel it, pull it back. This is going to come over. It's going to be a nice call on a creep tumor. Always good to get rid of some creep. Obviously slows down a little bit of the progress of the Zerg earlies, right? So just slows down where they're getting to, what's happening. Always a good thing, pretty much. A couple of Hellions coming about. There's going to be Command Center coming through, the starport coming up. You settle a third base of ByuN. Just going to set up in the front towards the gold. We can just step through. The Reaper will take some shots. The Roadrunner already starting from Solo. Going to play a bit of a different style then from the Lingbane in the last game. Fast melee upgrades. Now going to be playing the Roach style instead. Couple of Lord's Queen coming through, Banshee and the Cloaking coming up as well. Hompler moves across, lands onto that gold base. The Lair and the Evo Chamber coming through, add a couple of Extractors into that as well. Hellions going to come around. A few drones are going to be starting to drop as well. Going to see those beginning to fall. And Banshee comes around this side and now going to get a couple more shots. The drone's going to take a little bit more damage once more again. Some hits coming through. And Banshee's still trying to find some extra work as we continue to make some damage happen. That's chill, and the Hellion's gonna break through. He's gonna shoot Banshee and take some shots. The other Hellion's coming over, gonna go after some of those drones. So a couple of workers gonna go down, a couple of workers going down already. Six workers killed. Good damage with the Hellions. Still continue to head into +1/+1 and that roach speed, so we continue to get that underway. I'm just going to send it. 66 drones seems to be a magic number for Solo lately. We've casted a lot of his games where he just cuts at that 66 and hits the 3 base economy timing. It's as though that might be the plan. This bottom side accessible for ByuN. Nidus on the way as well. So yeah, Solo's going to send it. ByuN needs to realize he does not need to be being aggressive right now. He's actually going to have to become the defender in this game. If you don't realize that, it's very easy for Solo to get the jump on you, and if Solo gets the jump on you, things can become very difficult and very tricky very quickly, so let's see what potentially happens in that regard, as we do have Marines coming across. So now Marines just going to be pulling back around again. The road travel is starting to move out. It's go time for Solo. Anytime you wait from here on out, in theory, you just get more and more stuff available defensively as ByuN. Couple of dials. Seachank goes down. The road traveler starting to break through. The medevacs get chased over on the right. The Nidus in the main base goes down as well. STV's pulling back. The Roach Ravager coming back over. The Banshee's going to be there. Marines are going to stim up again, and again, more of that Roach Ravager getting blasted. We'll see the Banshee able to shoot as well. And it starts to pop out even more additional roaches. And that command center will just have to lift up. So it lifts up, peels back. Then Banshee begins to cloak a little bit. The Queens and the Roaches are going to get there. The medevacs have to step away. Just for now. Tanks are blasting. Those roaches are taking so much damage. The Nidus network has completed, and the Marines are going to go after the crew team is just going to pick away at everything they can find on the other side. I mean, so far this feels like an okay defense from ByuN. You're not letting Solo get too out of control or anything. Seems pretty reasonable, but I mean, Solo still has numbers. It's just the tank setup is so good, and again, having to drop across the map, killing some drones, and just chipping away at Solo as well. It puts a bit more pressure on Solo to maybe kind of push in, and he might just have to... I mean, in general, he's on pressure anyway. Roach Ravager just coming through. The Knight is still popping as well. He's going to go after the hatchery. Just going to try and get this one. Tank's just too good. Solo's attack is clearly not going anywhere. And ByuN is going to tie us up 1-1 in this best of 5. And we are going to be setting ourselves up for quite a series. A little bit of a back. In the top right-hand side, our red Zerg is going to be Solo. His 66 drone timing not working well enough for him in that last game. As in the bottom left, our blue Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion is ByuN. Alright, so hatch gas, soon to be a spawn pool coming through. We'll just have our hatch gas and pool coming up, obviously. We will see where we go from here. Chance for one of these guys to take the win in the series, obviously, or take the lead in the series and be very close to that win. Very important as our hatchery comes through on the natural. We get that set up. Factor going to be 9 from a drone or so. Continue to come around. Hatch still building as we move. So bring a lot of that into play. The drone pulling around, a few lings and queens coming over as well. Hatch goes into the third base and gets settled here. Obviously Reaper will show up and try and start doing some damage. Let's see what we can maybe find for ourselves. And we got CC building up. So third base comes online. We get that started up here. We're trying to still poke around. Obviously, Girl Queen's trying to get something done as well for a couple moments. Not the Queen's obviously still going to be used against the Hellions as well, so just doing everything they can here. Hellions going to try and get through. This time there's Ling speed. Obviously, you've seen the Hellions be aggressive in an earlier game. The Ling's backed up, going to let the Hellions come forward. An interesting choice, but oh, the Queen kind of gets there. Oh, it's perfect. It's absolutely beautiful, the defense, actually. You lose the Lings, but that's fine. You're going to get rid of all these Hellions. Trading Hellions for Lings at this stage is not what you want to be doing at all, not in the slightest. So that's going to be absolutely brutal as a couple Marines are going to go and make their way through the Overlord. So Overlord will go down. Our third base is going to move across into position here for the moment as well. Is ByuN building his third because he sees Solo building his third? Not really. Zergs are pretty much always going to build a third base, so third bases are pretty common in TVZ. Unless you're going to build like a 2-base all-in. You pretty much, I mean, a lot of Terrans are going to build their third base before they get any scouting information on a Zerg anyway. It's just the way the matchup works a lot of the time. Again, Bane's coming through, the hatch coming up. Got a few extractors on the way. Barracks and reactor coming through as well. Another depot down. Going to get rid of a couple of these creep tumors. That's a lot of creep tumors that just went down, actually. And just trying to attack through. The Queen's going to be there. We turn those Banshees away. Medevac's coming through again, the upgrades coming up. 1-1 combat shield all coming by. We get the extra Banes morphing in, the hydrogen coming up as well. Marines coming about. The tank is going to drop down and siege up. We'll see the few Marines starting to fire. The Queen's going to take some shots as well. Lings and Bane's going to be there. We get more melee upgrades coming through. The Bane speed as well. The 1-1 upgrades in the combat shield about to finish up from ByuN. Add a factory onto that too. Another armory as well. We continue to get that on the way and rolling. Position is fun from ByuN. He has the upgrade lead, so might be able to trade out a bit. Bane speed just finished though, and that might be what Solo's waiting for to kind of pull the trigger here and commit. Oh, those Banes. All clumped up in the back. I mean, the tank goes down, but ByuN will just lift and evacuate his Marines. Edge has the Banshee shown back up, and reinforcements from ByuN. I was going to say, I think I've just stepped too far forward. I think Solo might have been able to jump on that, but he's a little bit distracted by the Banshees. Very distracted by the Banshees. Just loses all of his Queens. That's such a shame. Because I actually think Solo could have jumped on this because ByuN was not aware of how close his units were. I think he could have killed everything, and the Marines and the Medevac were still in the Medevac as well. Eight drones going down. Marines just going to be jumped on as ByuN continues to push this forward. I mean, that was a nice little connection of some Banes helping you out fairly significantly. Marines going to be there. A few Lings getting whacked. 2-2 coming through. Infestation pick coming up. Drones moving about, just going to have a couple of Marines going to be there, some Lings and Banes continuing to move up again. SCVs are going to chase forward. The Bane lane's going to turn onto some of the bio. Muscular Organs continues to come into play at the moment, just going to have a few Hellbats on the side. Going to get turned away by the Zerglings as well. That hatchery, low HP. This Ling Bane Hydra tries to come back through, hitting these Marines a little bit. And the Lings move about, the bio and the Medevac on the bottom side moving over, 2-2 upgrades coming over as well. A couple of Marines is going to continue to come back toward the Medevac. The few Lings going to get there. Look at Dan. 5 continue to come up. Our bio around that right hand side getting going as well. A couple of creep tumors will begin to fall. A lot of units that are going to take a lot of damage. The Banes continue to come over here. I think Solo's just bleeding out a little bit too much. ByuN does have the ability to kind of lift and get out of this one as well at this point. Enough units that will fit in all of those Medevacs. So that turns into a fine getaway plan. That's the bio coming through at the top. Fast moves through. A couple crit tumors will go down pretty swiftly, so we get rid of those. Now we get a hatchery that's very low as well. The rest of the bio are going to come stepping up. Again, Hatch will take some more shots. Just going to be seeing the Hydras coming through. The Banes are moving about. Just going to see ByuN continue to step away for that right-hand side. A couple of Banes getting grabbed. The Zerglings falling. And with the hatchery already down on this top side, I mean, I love the split from ByuN. It's making it very difficult for Solo to reestablish and retake control at all. It's not the greatest moment from ByuN though. That was just too many units. Oh my god, he's going to lose everything. Oh my god, ByuN, what happened? It's all just falling apart. He just missed micros. Doesn't pay attention, loses 2 entire armies. That is absolutely brutal. The lurkers continue to come up. The seismic spines coming in. Adrenal glands and +1 missiles coming up also. Fire steps up, Spore Crawler will go down, some Lingbane Hydra on the right side. Starting to run through, a couple Widow Mines trying to aim their way towards something. Classic bombs all across those medevacs. We're going to regather here. Lingbane going to step through, the Hydras are going to be there, Widow Mine going down. Widow Mine shots continue to come through. Another Baneling just going to get pushed away. Marine's going to step through. The Hatchery will take some more shots. The Lings, the Hydras, the Bane going to get knocked down as well. So we're just going to be able to grab that now. A couple more Banelings getting jumped on here. The Bio continue to chase through. ByuN recovering from some of the bad fights in this to continue putting pressure on. But I think the Lurkers are here. And with Lurkers being here, I actually start to favor this game for Solo a little bit because, again, Solo's Lurkers are like no others. He's so good at the Lurker stage of the game, and now he's gotten there. I think ByuN's lost too much momentum. Well, some drones continue to move about. +2 missiles, +3 carapace coming up. Upgrades for Solo continue to bound on through as he plays catch up on some of those upgrades of the Terran 3-3 finish for ByuN as he keeps on trying to push. First Nidus is starting to come up. Looks as though the Lurkers are in those Niduses as well as we lurch forward with the Hydras to get rid of the Liberator, and this position just gets broken down instantly. Marauder's trying to get rid of the Nidus attempt in the natural, and that would be huge to stop it. Doesn't look like Solo's going to get anything out from the Nidus. Already pressing forward is Lingbane Hydra at the front here and starting to hit some of the mineral lines from the low ground. So I think ByuN had a lot of momentum in this game, but the moment he lost his momentum, it becomes very tough because you're playing against Solo, who's so freaking good in so many of these situations. Bio gathers, we do have the Nidus coming in on the bottom. Bio gathers up again, the Nidus going through, the Libs coming up, Marines and Ghosts coming about. Ling's going to step through, the siege tank will fire. A few Lings taking shots. ByuN the Ghost going to be there to push the Lings back the other direction. Our CC will turn back around once more. I just stepped through. It's going to be seeing the command center taking a lot more damage. CC is going to be burning. The Liberators are setting it up. We're going to lose one Lib. We're going to lose a second and third. Good abduct. I mean, the Ghosts are here and they are going to continue to push back, but there's a good start to this, and actually those Ghosts are actually going to get chased by Banelings right now. Just about being able to handle it, but the rest of the Bio does go down still. Solo loses a base right-hand side, and so ByuN continues to have a little bit of momentum for himself in this game. Our Lings, our Hydras continue to press on through, and they are going to go straight after the Marauders and the rest. The Overseers coming around as well. Add a Burrow and a +3 melee upgrade onto that as well right now. Continue to bring that over as we have our Bioforce continue to gather up. The Liberator coming through as well. And Marines, Medevacs continue to come in for the moment here. Just going to get our Marines and our Ghosts to get rid of that Nidus. A couple of Hydras are going to jump through, and they're going to go straight onto the Lib. Liberator goes down. We had a few extra Banelings into play. The Hydra's still coming online as well. The Lings will just come across, going after some of those SCVs, trying to find harassing damage, trying to find a little bit extra wherever possible. Zerglings still moving about. The ByuN and the Ghost coming through. Get rid of even more Zerglings right here for a couple of moments. Those SCVs still gathering. We just have, again, the ByuN Ghost Force coming over. A couple of Lings going down. Just going to get a wraparound. Marauder's going to take some hits. The medevac loads up and away we go. Bit of ducks once again. Those Liberators just not getting a chance to survive realistically. Bane's crashing through for a ton of SCVs. Planetary Fortress gets dismantled in the process. Huge couple of moments there. The medevac continues to push across. The Bioforce gathering, the Ghost setting up, and we continue to get ourselves to the top side of the map, the 12 o'clock position. Going to be broken into over these next few moments. Liberator's going to get jumped on. A couple of these Banes will be going down still. The Lings are still streaming across. Hatch rate does die. +3 missiles, +3 melee. Building up here still from Solar, so we continue to get all of that into play. Nothing. Bane army just continues to chase on up. We are going to be seeing the wraparound attempting to hit these Ghosts and the Bio units. A couple of snipes coming off. The Overseer's going down immediately, and we are going to see the Lurkers hitting a Planetary Fortress from up above. So the Lurkers continue to put some work in as well. The Zerglings back onto a missile turret. The Libs are going to come straight over. Siege up on top of those Lurkers now. This Planetary does go down. Solar able to take this out, but that will be pretty much it for the moment. I don't think we go any further than that right now. And again, the rest of the Hydras and the Banes continue to come about. And we'll have ourselves the army still setting up in the center, so we push through once again. A couple of Liberators will siege. The Lurker's going to take some heavy hits. 7 SCVs, 8 SCVs going down. The Hydras going to get chased into the corner there. The rest of this army gathering up together. And a lot of dead SCVs, a few drones are being killed. And just coming back once more. It's a fun game because obviously at this point Solar's got the economy, but ByuN has the army. And so it kind of comes into that kind of constant trading effect where Solar wants to trade so he can keep on rebuilding. He doesn't want ByuN to kind of add that extra 10 to 15 supply of army at any point, so you got to be super careful on that as well. Oh, Vipers, the Lurkers, the Lings continue to build up. Our Ling's going to step through. ByuN jumped on pretty quickly here. Hydra's coming forward as well. I like the jump from Solar. Again, Liberator's getting taken down fairly swiftly, so not able to do too much. Some Lings actually reach the mineral line here as well, and enough Hydras apparently just to fight and clean up. That's massive. That's a big breakthrough for Solar, actually being able to like fully clean up at the end of this as well. There's going to be a dive across the map. It's ByuN jumping onto the far right, and he will scan for the drones as well. So it's going to make up a lot of the damage he just took. Problem is, I mean, you lose an equal amount of workers, and Solar is still double the worker count to you, and that's the issue. He has a significant amount more economy, so overall as a percentage, he loses less eco, right? Which is definitely worth noting, because it means that you are able to kind of stay in it a bit more comfortably as Solar. Now he loses a lot more workers, though. Lurker step through, the Lings are going to come up. Here come the Hydras as well. They'll lunge forward, get rid of 1 Lib, 2, 3, 4. The Lings are just dominating the ground, and I don't think ByuN has really enough to hold on. There's Liberators here, there, and everywhere, but they're getting abducted into Hydras. I think ByuN has a serious case of not enough bio at this point, actually. Like, his army is pretty much only Libs. And funnily enough, that's just not good right now, because he actually needs something else to really kind of buffer for them, and the Libs alone just don't control the areas enough GG's, very well played by Solar. This was a tense game. ByuN had a lot of good moments in it, and Solar had a lot of good moments, but honestly, 4 in the bottom right-hand side. The blue Terran player who is going to be down a game now, it is going to be ByuN. And in the top left, our red Zerg, it is Solar. Getting to game 4 of our best of 5. Loser of this is out, of course. Winner of this moves on through to play tomorrow, and they will be one of the opening matchups there in the lower bracket. Epic zoom in here on the SCV as we watch it nibble up. A little bit of action right now, nothing too crazy. Again, the refinery's coming through, the rack's coming about. We get that underway. Yeah, drone's just going to keep on mining it up. CC in the barracks on the way through as well. Add a refinery onto that as well, on top of everything else. Ham's going to off race for sure. Yeah, he's definitely the expected off race. Yeah, when we were talking to our sponsor about, what to make this event, he was first thinking maybe like a full off-race tournament. I said the honesty of part of it, which is like, I think it'd be fun, but also you might not get all the players to kind of play, or the top-tier players and stuff. Like, I don't know how many people would be super into playing like a full off-race tournament. Yeah, in the end we ended up just kind of running something a bit more regular and standard, but it's been great so far. Some fantastic games thus far. As ByuN is down a map in this best of 5. This is series 3 out of 8 today. We've got so much SC2 still coming your way. So many games still to come once we finish up this one. You also want to go full off race? Yeah, I was actually talking to Lambo. Lambo said it'd be fun to play reverse race, which means you don't just pick an off race. You must play the race of your opponent, which is obviously quite fun. And then you can also make it, if it's going to be a mirror match, or if it would be a mirror matchup, you put like a special rule in there for how it plays out. Or so I actually really like that idea. That might be something we do at some point. That'd be fun. Yeah, I think I like reverse race more than off race, because it kind of forces everyone to play all the races. I think that'd be neat. Yo, Impstomper 8, thank you so much for the Prime sub, appreciate it. Solar. Early roaches, and he's just going to get very aggressive here in a game 4 as he looks to win early. Having the reactor still in the barracks is a huge deal for ByuN. Marines are going to be much better than Hellions against roaches, so that's a good thing. Obviously, if he really knew it was coming, though, he could have maybe gone into a tech lab and gotten a Cyclone or so coming up. That'd be one of the best ways to deal with this. He's going to go in towards that tech lab now. As the first units are starting to show up, let's see what goes on here. The Overlord to provide a little bit of high ground vision so we can attack up the ramp is very useful. Roaches start to move through. The SCVs are going to pull. Again, a Hellion in the background here helps a little bit against those Lings, which pull back to the sides. 8 SCVs go down already, so I think needs a little bit more than that typically. 10 SCVs. He's making more units, which is kind of the interesting part of this, right? It's more Lings, it's more roaches. He's going to hold them out the front. He's maybe going to hope that ByuN doesn't expect it, and then you can maybe get a little bit of a jump as well to more effectively push you into a better position. More Marines popping out. There's a lot of Lings on the way. So Solar going for round 2. Very tough for ByuN because he has no way to scout that it's going to be round 2. Instead of you know, a macro game. So scouts a little bit there. He's going to scout again. He wants to try and see if there's units on the way or not. Actually got the SCV built in the depot too, which is cute. Cyclone steps forward, is going to try and scout. I think he might have just seen it. Not sure. Well, we're going to move forward now. That Cyclone gets the first lock on onto some Lings. The Ling's going to pull away toward the mineral line. We need the couple Roaches and the Ravager to undo some of the choke point kind of factors here, which is going to be an issue as these Lings try and play a wraparound. Cyclone's going to buy a lot of time as siege tank spawns. You can just see the Marines are shredding through Zerglings. That's GG, and that's a game 5 coming up for us right here in this series. So we are going to go the full dance side. We're going to have ourselves the red Zerg player choosing the aggressive opener, which did not succeed for him in game number 4. Hence we get to tied up. It is going to be in the bottom left, our red Zerg Solar. Top right, our blue Terran player, ByuN. Quite happy with that easier win in game 4, I think, after he's had to really work for it in all the other games. Natural drops onto the natural and get that settled in. Two racks at the front from ByuN, so going to go for the Reaper. Opening. Put some pressure on. Well, a couple of Reapers coming through, catching the pool, coming up at the moment. The Reapers continuing about, away we go. Just gonna get set up here for a couple of moments. And again, our Ling speed coming through, the Queen's on the way. We're just going to be poking. Again, the Ling speed coming online. Binary coming up. CC's on the way. Get all of that settled. Reaper shots coming through. The Queens get bounced about for the moment as well. And the Queens gather. Wait for a couple of moments here. Tech Lab, Reactor, both coming through. The grenades. Queens is going to get back already. A few Zerglings going to get chased. We got ourselves the Ling speed coming up as well. So look at that hatch coming through, the couple Queens on the way, had a few drones on as well. Cyclone's trying to just poke around the front. Obviously, a fairly standard opener for this final game. No one going to take anything too risky. Yeah, we had the Reapers, but even that was just 3 Reapers. Put a bit of pressure on, nothing too committed. We've seen ByuN be crazier than that in the past. Things moving around again. One upgrades and stim pack coming through. And Hellions moving around. The queens are going to settle down. Queen's going to be there. Hellions get pushed the other way. +1 attack. Stim pack coming in. Armor upgrade coming about. Hellions and Marines keep on producing. We get ourselves the couple units coming over. Crypt Team is going to get to the front, get taken out. Spore Crawl and the Bane Nest coming around as well. An extra few Marines is going to be popping here as the starport finishes. Gets ready to potentially swap one over to a reactor or so. Those medevacs building. Armory starts as well, so ByuN really trying to hit this time in 1-1. Stim. Going to have a few Hellbats mixed in there as well. All the command is going to go land on the third base. Once we get rid of that Zergling, like I say, it's pretty much go time. It's going to be powerful. I mean, look at Solar. 1-1 and Bane speed only just starting now. He's going to have none of the tools to really deal with this attack of ByuN. I'm terrified for Solar. I do not think this is very good for him at all. And the Melee and Carapace upgrades coming about. The extra Banes coming through. The Hellions Wolf and the Hellbats. Still cancel. Medevac still coming across. He's going to step up. A couple of Banes already getting jumped on. We're going to see the Hellbats pulling back. Banes trying to crash through. Pretty good defense from Solo, considering it's just slow Banes and unupgraded Lings. That's actually a very clean defense. Just pushes ByuN back immediately, and that's what you need. Create a bit of distance between you in this game. We're still setting up again. The 2-2 upgrades coming about. Melee upgrades are coming in on the side of Solar, so we keep that being brought in as well. Step up, a couple creep units going down. The Ling Bane wants to threaten through this bottom side of the map. Melee upgrade about to finish. The infestation rate coming through, halfway done currently. So attack continues in, and Solo I think is set up very well to survive to that point he's so freaking good at. Hive coming about again. The 2-2 melee upgrades coming through. The hatch is coming in. Upgrades building from ByuN. Just going to be seeing the racks coming up also. Matter of fact, it's going to load away they go over to the side. Still got the Hive coming through. An extra bunch of Lings continue to produce on in. The Banes and the Lings are going to crash onto a couple of tanks, man. ByuN's supply is getting absolutely blasted. Yeah, to the point where he's just going to leave the game right here and now because it's done. GG. Stola is going to take this lower bracket matchup, and ByuN is eliminated round 1. Our first player to exit the tournament, unfortunately.